question of who's going to be running this company and who's going to be the correct leader of it. Obviously, Sherry Redstone's going to have a big say in what's going on going forward. And the question is, are they going to keep the CEO, the interim CEO, who was a very close colleague of Les Moonves, or are they going to find someone else? And then what do they do with the assets?
You got any guesses?
No, I don't. I don't actually. I mean, I think it's really hard because at the same time they're grappling with, there's lots of different CEOs, there's lots of different executives who could do this job, but, you know, he sort of, at CBS, really was legendary comparatively, comparatively in terms of length of time there and how much he ran the company, like really was in charge of it. We had him at Code a number of times, or All Things B, and, you know, he just was very confident in his role. And so I think the company was, and so we'll see what happens when they try for someone else, or how it sorts itself out. Especially, you know, in this era of digital, they've got to also be thinking about all kinds of really fast-forward things that are going to be happening to the assets of CBS.
We've had a number of people on today critical of the board, critical of how long it took them to take this thing seriously, critical of their responses to not just Farrow's reporting, but the Washington Post and Charlie Rose. How much liability do you think lies close to the board? And do you think this remake of the board is a good fix?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's the issue, is all these boards, it's not just here, it's a lot of companies where they've had these problems. And it's not just with sexual harassment, there's all kinds of issues around these CEOs in which they place enormous amounts of trust. And are these boards doing a great job monitoring their leaders? It's not been like that because these leaders have had sort of unfettered power, especially over naming people on the boards. And so the question is, do these boards, the way these boards are configured, does it work the way it's done? And that's, I think, a bigger question because there's so many different instances and so many different ways of some kind of malfeasance around some of these board members. You saw it at Uber, you know, obviously CBS, but people that were monitoring these leaders are not doing a very good job of it, obviously.
Kara, if I remember correctly, it was just over 3 months ago, Sherry Redstone was sitting down at the Code conference, and she seemed to be in an embattled position up against Les Moonves. How does this clarify her position as far as power both in national amusements and the broader media landscape, or how does this perhaps complicate things?
Well, I think she's got an upper hand now, right? Because these guys, you know, Les Moonves was leading the whole fight, and obviously was a very aggressive competitor to her in terms, a rival to her in terms of the future of CBS. And in this case, it's not there. So it's a question of how quickly the group that was behind him folds. I don't think they've got a lot of, given this situation, I don't think they've got a lot of purchase. So I think she probably has a lot more power, you know, in terms of what's going to happen to CBS.